let's talk a little bit about tuning. You know, typically when you, at least with other people's kits, you had a turbocharger or a supercharger, and then you have to go toss the car on a dyno, and you have to work on tuning. And with gas cars, you have timing and air-fuel ratios that you have to worry about. What is it like tuning this for kind of your average guy? You know, nowadays a lot of people want to do it themselves. They don't want to take it to a shop. They want to go in their garage and do it themselves.
Sure. You know, tuning, timing, and air-fuel ratio, that was the good old days. You know, I mean, now you've got electronic throttle, you've got torque management, you've got all these safety things that are built in from the factory to keep these motors from blowing up if anything goes wrong. And one of those things is if somebody puts a turbo on it. So most cars nowadays, you put a turbo on it, you won't make it out of the parking lot without throwing it in a limp mode. So a lot of tuning has to be done, and a lot of it is a lot more than just mapping out the timing and mapping out the fuel. That tends to sometimes be the easy part. We basically work with our customers. They can buy the tuning from us. We do a lot of development tuning, which is a lot different than what normally happens with just your average dyno tuner guy. They're more concerned about, okay, has it got a check engine light on? Did it make good power? And is it not going to blow up? That's, you know, and is there any weird drivability problems? So if they've got those four, you know, it's done and it's out of there. We spend, you know, just because we're doing the same application on lots of them, we can afford to spend a lot of time on making sure that all the tuning stuff is right, and it's done as if GM or Ford or whoever was building this car would have tuned it from the factory. So a lot of extra time goes into that, and that's what people get when they buy our tuning is some of that expertise and some of that experience that we've put a lot of hours into. And that's one thing that I do a lot here is a lot of the development tuning and working with the customers. So then we typically will send them, we use the Diablo Sport Predator a lot, and so we'll send them a Predator. They take a read off their factory tune, they email it to us, get in there, and we make it a turbo tune, we email it back, they throw it on the car. Then we've got some feedback forms, and they can read the data off the Predator, they can go do some drive cycles, fill out the forms, email me back the forms, I adjust the tune, send them a new tune, they go, we do that process round and round a couple times, and it's just like if I had the car here and dialed it in, as long as they give me good feedback. So they end up with a really nice tune, and a lot of times it's a lot better than what they would get if they took it to a custom tuner that, you know, yeah, maybe he's tuned a few turbo cars, but you know, I've tuned thousands of them, and it's just that experience. Every tune it shows.
You know, reading on the internet and talking to people that have STS turbo systems on their cars, I hear a lot about customer service. Everybody seems to know Rick Squires by name, or any of the other people here by name. What do you do to have such great customer service? And
well, you know, customer service is the one thing that separates us from, you know, some of our bigger competitors. I've tried, you know, because my name's on the building, I've tried to say, you know what, I still get people that call my cell phone number because they find some old flyer somewhere that somebody gave them, and it's got my cell phone number on it. I mean, that's the customer service that we started with. Was, you know, when you called STS, you called my cell phone number, and you went right to the top. And of course, there was only a couple of us back then, you know. But yeah, I handled all the tech calls. I handled any phone call, you know, pretty much answered the phone. And so as we've gotten bigger, it's obviously I'm a little harder to get a hold of, and I've trained some guys to take care of people the way that I would want them taken care of. And if they don't, they hear from me, you know, and a lot of the people out there still know me from, you know, the early days and have a relationship with me, and they'll call me and say, you know what, your guy didn't take, you know, he didn't take care of me, or he didn't call me back. It's like, well, man, it's only been like 20 minutes. I'll go have him call you. But you know, they just expect, you know, a little more. Some of the guys that have been with us for 6 years. But you know, the new guys that are coming on now, they're usually really happy with the customer service compared to some of our competitors, where you know, you can get put on hold indefinitely, and you know, it's we're still small enough to where every customer is real important to us, and we want to make sure that, you know, they're out there saying, yeah, STS is the best. And, you know, customer service is one way that we can make sure that we are.
Great. Well, you guys have been doing some incredible stuff, and we've gone for a ride in the Corvette, and we hope to see some more.